My epic quest for mastery on all the guns in Battlefield 4 continues, and it's getting a bit tough now as I've started to hit all of the guns that I don't like. I know, I need to get a life, maybe go out a little more, but that's where the bad people are. If you don't know how to master a gun in Battlefield 4, all you need to do is basically get 500 kills with it. My quest has led me to the RPK. Pointlessly, there's two RPKs in Battlefield. These are both mag-fed LMGs, so they have pretty shallow mags in comparison to some of the belt-fed LMGs. The reason I think two of these guns is pointless is that it appears the main difference between the two is solely the mag count. The RPK-12 has 61 in a mag, the RPK-74M only has 46 in a mag. Other than that, the stats are very similar with little difference. If you choose the 74M, it comes across like you're just choosing to reload more often. I can't really see the point in that gun. I could be wrong, I may be missing something massively obvious, and I'm sure if I am, someone will bend over backwards to tell me. They both have a meagre 600 rounds per minute, which puts these guns at the lower end of the damage output for LMGs. However, it's not all bad. Following the standard theme of Battlefield, this slow rate of fire also means it's low on the recoil too. So it's not a bad long range weapon, and it's pretty noob friendly due to the way it handles. It does allow for some spray and pray with reasonable results. I think you'd be lucky coming out of a close range fight in one piece with this due to its slow rate of fire. I wouldn't fancy going toe to toe with an assault rifle with this in my arms. For me, it's not an LMG I would pick, as I prefer throwing a bit more lead down range a bit quickly. Quite frankly, as soon as I hit 500 kills with this weapon and get that dog tag, I'll likely never touch it again. With it being an LMG, you can of course only use it on the support class. I always take the ammo box with me when I run support, always, and for a sort of secondary gadget it's either the XM25 or C4. Now that'll depend for me heavily on what map I'm currently playing. If I'm in a big open map with vehicles, I'll tend to take C4, and if I'm on an infantry centric map, I'll tend to take the XM25 Airburst. You may notice I've not mentioned the UCAV, and that's because I don't really like it all that much. Judging by the complaints of the PC crowd about UCAVs, it must be more effective on a PC. On console, it's not so much of a problem. I may well be the luckiest player in the world, but I find myself dying to UCAVs only a handful of times. I know a lot of PC gamers see them as the blight of the battlefield, so it's surprising why their usage is not mirrored on a console. I suspect it's a control issue. Maybe the UCAVs are far harder to keep control of with a pad, and I think that might be due to the sensitivity settings that you get extra on a PC, for example with tanks and with projectiles. They're affected by your menu sensitivity, and on a console you don't have those options. On a console, your turn speed being locked, your trajectory needs to be spot on with limited room for correction, and that's probably why UCAVs aren't as prevalent on PlayStation 4. The Airburst is a bit of a pig. I'm not a fan of using it or being killed by it. However, I figure if I'm going to get killed by indirect fire, I may as well use it myself. I tend to try and use it tactically for clearing a building and displacing snipers, but must admit have occasionally filled the kill feed on Operation Locker holding a tunnel down with an evil grin. I guess the problem with having weapons like this in the game is that if they're available, people are going to use them. And if you're going to be the victim all the time and complain about it, pick one up for yourself. Stop being the victim. The thing I find worse than both C4 XM25 is claymores. At least with an XM25 you have to point it in the right direction. Claymores, you can just find a dark corner, dump it down and wait for someone to tread on it. I've always had a dislike for infantry mines in games. However, they are still a weapon as well, and I'm going to need 500 kills with them, so I'll be everybody's favourite when I start that. Also, separately, as a bit of news, it looks like the community map project that DICE are running is shaping up. Unfortunately, I can't access the CTE server, so I can't bring you any game footage of it, but they have added a water temple now at the bottom of the waterfall, which is also going to be a capture point. It was the community on the Battlelog forums that wanted this to be more of a feature, so it appears DICE are actually taking some notice. Although PlayStation 4 and Xbox One users cannot go onto CTE without a PC, you can look at the plans and you can give input to what you want to see on those Battlelog forums. So if you're interested, it's worth taking a look. The map does look pretty good from what I've seen. If you've got any comments down below, or you want to tell me what I'm missing between the two differences in the RPKs, by all means let me know. That's all for now. Have a good day.